Hope Global began as a step of faith with a simple idea to help the people in Rwanda. It has grown over the years into something bigger than we could have ever dreamed, and the vision has expanded beyond what we could have ever imagined. 10 years ago, Darlene and I were moved to bring justice and awareness to a nation forgotten by the world. We set out about gathering people to bring their gifts, their time, and their finances to establish the 100 Days of Hope, a global outreach to help the country of Rwanda. Our vision was to see a nation restored, its people healed from the horrific experience of a genocide, and to see men, women and boys and girls made whole through Christ in body, soul, mind and spirit. Through the 100 Days of Hope, it was apparent that this was the first step in a long journey to bring change to a nation. Over the last 10 years, we have seen significant achievements through the many faithful volunteers, donors and supporters. Without the help of this army of committed people and our faithful prayer warriors, we would not have witnessed such a release from poverty in the lives of so many people around the world. The achievements over the last 10 years have been made possible only through the grace of God. We've taken medical teams to Rwanda and seen life-saving operations take place. We've helped distribute tens of thousands of hygiene packs and books to communities. We've trained thousands of teachers and leaders and community workers and medical professionals. We've also been part of writing and implementing the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education in Rwanda and have helped them to make the transition to English as an official language. We've been able to build an entire village of homes for widows and orphans, equipped with water tanks and electricity and vegetable gardens and a dairy. We've partnered with Fruits of Hope to build an entire preschool and primary school so that we could see hundreds of children gain access to quality education. Since 2006, we've expanded into other countries beyond Rwanda, including Uganda and Kenya, India and Cambodia, where we've been able to see incredible impact through our education program. We've inspired thousands of people to volunteer and help on mission trips across the last 10 years. Parramatta Eels have sent 2 rugby teams there to Rwanda. As we celebrate and reflect on what's been achieved over the last 10 years, it's also time to look forward and to cast vision and begin writing the story for the next 10 years. One of the announcements in our new season is that Darlene is stepping into the leadership of Hope Global and will oversee the future direction of the organisation. This is an exciting transition and I know one that you will also support with me. Darlene is passionate about Hope Global and is bringing fresh vision for its future. This transition will see my role as more as an advisor, still engaged, but I'm handing over the reins, as Darlene and I both felt this is the right time for new leadership to carry on the vision for Hope Global for the next 10 years and beyond.
We are so excited to be launching the next chapter of Hope Global. As Mark explained, the first 10 years have been nothing short of miraculous. We can see God at work daily with testimonies from both our volunteers and the people we serve. It's now time to continue the legacy and position ourselves for our greatest days of impact. Our vision for the next 10 years is that Hope Global will continue to come alongside nations to see them flourish in the realms of leadership, education, and spiritual and physical development. Strategic transformation that addresses the needs of the poor will always remain our priority as an organisation. And to that end, we will always be looking for ways to relieve human suffering. We will focus on 5 nations: Rwanda, Cambodia, Kenya, Uganda, and India, establishing a 24/7 presence in Rwanda, so exciting, and growing our impact in other nations. I want to introduce our board members, Matthew Hope, Scott Haslam, Paul Marks, and Michelle Shaw. These people are really responsible for the integrity of Hope Global and its outcomes. They are each specialists in their fields and increase the capacity of Hope Global and its endeavours. With Jesus at the centre of our mission, the board carries a great responsibility and do so with a heart of servanthood and an abundance of grace. Each of our board members have a story to tell and a vision for the future of Hope Global, which extends from their own personal passion for justice. The Village of Hope in Rwanda has been such a success story. Matt Hope really grabbed hold of the heart of this project right from its conception. It was exciting for Matt to be able to travel to Rwanda at the completion of this project and reflect on the journey since the first home was built in 2006.
The Village of Hope started out of seeing a need, and a very visual need. We were asked by Nicholas Hidamana and his wife Elsie, incredible people, if we would be able to help them to rebuild these ladies, these widows' homes. And it became really obvious early that these homes couldn't be rebuilt or repaired. The obvious need was so great, and God really put it on our heart that we need to do something about it. The initial days of starting the village was quite difficult. We had to find land, we had to find the materials to build the homes from, and it actually took a lot of our time. We had to go over to Rwanda quite a lot in those early years. But we're so blessed to look back now and see there's 30 homes built. The lives of these widows and orphans have been changed forever. They've started a dairy where they have their own cows. They provide milk. They can use it for their own purposes or sell it. They have chickens. There's running water in the village, which has been such a blessing. We've got electricity now in the village, and it's fully self-sufficient, which is wonderful. There's so many people in all different countries that have been involved in starting and building the Village of Hope, from laying the foundations right up to putting water tanks in the village, helping them with agriculture, all different things. It's all a bit surreal getting to the point of handing over the village and just seeing what's been achieved over the last 8-10 years. We're just so excited about our new partnership with Nicholas and Elsie Hidamana and Link Ministries. We're going to start a construction of a school and a community centre over the next 10 years. That whole new vision rebirthed in the eastern province of Rwanda. We're going to need a team of volunteers to be involved in this next project, those that are able to help through education, through construction, through planning, through financial contribution. We can't wait to see what God does. It'll be bigger and better, and what we've learnt through the Village of Hope will be wonderful. It will help us heaps in the next phase.
Our staff and volunteers are the lifeblood of Hope Global. Many of you will know Michelle Shaw, who has overseen the education program right from its outset. Michelle has been integral to the success of the program and has worked as a team leader on many field trips, setting up training programs and really guiding our trainers as they step into unknown environments to pioneer change in communities around the world. After 10 years of faithful service, Michelle has taken on a new role with Hope Global as one of our board members to champion the important role that education plays in our future.
I first got involved with Hope Global because my husband and I had done some volunteer work in Cambodia, and I was really passionate about seeing development work done well. It's been an absolute privilege to have been involved since the very beginning of Hope Global. Seeing lives changed, schools built, university programs developed, lives impacted, to be able to have seen the tangible results of a response of the heart. My prior experience in Cambodia had lent me to realise that the professional expertise that I took for granted as a teacher was not necessarily available to teachers in a developing world context. And all the research shows that the most important element in quality education is the teacher. I think it's important. We've done 10 years and we've done 10 years well, but now we're moving into a new season of doing things in an even more sustainable and accredited way, so that local people on the ground can become experts and we can support, equip and empower them to pass on knowledge to the next generation. And to really do that well, we need to invest in some infrastructure, and we need to invest in putting the building blocks around to develop a high quality teacher development training college. If we can do something and to invest in the teacher, we actually have the potential to influence the learning outcomes for thousands and thousands of children.
We want to introduce to you an exciting new venture and opportunity that we feel God has placed on our hearts. As part of our vision and strategy to have a greater impact in the regions we serve, we are excited to announce the development of the Hope Global Training Centre. This will be right in the middle of Rwanda, with a teacher training college, a Bible college, worship and creative arts training school. We'll work from the Central Coast and vice versa. This is going to be another major faith step, and one which we are so ready for. Scott Haslam has a conviction and passion about us having a stake in the ground to allow us to be most effective in our mission to reach people on a greater scale.
Well, I first got involved in Hope Global a little over 5 years ago, and at the time, the thing that really caught my attention was the Hope Village in Rwanda. Such a tangible project. So, building homes for orphans and widows, helping them into, some dignity and some hope, really changing their lives. Well, it was a privilege to meet Bishop Mbanda, and it was a very exciting moment because not more than a few weeks earlier, the Hope Board had sat down with Darlene and really cemented the need to have a presence, a physical presence in Rwanda. When I was listening to the Bishop, what was going through my mind was just how much bigger our dream can become if we can partner with someone who can facilitate us and with their help have a much greater impact, partnering with the community, partnering with government to really influence the education and change people's experiences.
Yeah, I have spent over 20 years working with children around the world, Latin America, Asia, Africa, you name it. And as I come to Africa and actually move away from the upper echelons of corporate organizations down to where the action is, to the front line, I'm actually realizing that you find people with a lot of passion who love children, who want to spend time with children, but they don't have the skills, they don't have the training. And you also have need out there. And so I think that for me, my passion was, how can I transfer what I have learned, what I know, the love for children, the skills to work with children, how can I transfer that? Because those who have the training, we cannot afford them. And I was trying to say, if we are going to reach the poor people in the villages, in the rural areas, we needed to train people. We needed to give them that skill. Had it not been Hope Global that came and actually meeting Michelle Shah in one of the restaurants and learning what she was doing and inviting her to come and to be part of us, and she has been for the last 3 years, I don't know what I would have done. Personally, starting a center in Kigali that will train on early childhood will be a fantastic idea for two reasons. One, Kigali is the heart, Kigali is the center, Kigali is the place for the country of Rwanda, but also for the surrounding countries for that matter. It's a place where people come and that they can be trained. The idea of starting a center in Kigali, to me, is crucial because if you start it as Hope Global, then it's not denominationally bound. So I think it's very important that it becomes an international center, a place where it can be accessible by many churches, by many institutions, by people who need it. Well, my journey is a very interesting one. I'm where I am because of God's grace. I'm where I am because of people who invested in my life. As I told you, I grew up as a refugee kid, hopeless, had no hope, and people gave me opportunity. People loved me and cared for me and provided me opportunity. But in every step, from the time I was a child, I can almost point you to a place and a time when I saw God's hand. And God used people for where I am until today. And I don't owe God anything. I don't feel like I owe God, but I feel that God has blessed me to be a blessing. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be part of.
So to hear the bishop outline a vision, his own vision that was almost identical to ours, it was amazing, and it was also great to hear him think Hope Global was the right group to partner with. The training centre is an important project. We need to have a place that says this is Hope Global. It's about being there 365 days of the year. It's a place where our education teams, the 4 or 5 trips we do a year, can come and base themselves. It's a place where our own staff can eventually go out and reinforce the messages of those training teams. It's a place where we can do more education, where we can have online computer training and technology, all making a contribution to our education projects. Education is one of the really only sustainable paths out of poverty. But I also think it's important to be able to help people, to give them shelter, to give them food, to give them water. And Hope Global's really concentrated on bringing those aspects together. The training centre is not just an education facility, but it's a place where Hope Global can grow in terms of our contribution to helping people.
Paul and Liz Marks have been such a wonderful gift to us here at Hope Global. Together with their family, they have felt God call them into the mission space of Hope Global and have been an integral part of our teacher training programs. Paul also has joined the board in the last year, and the way God is shaping and changing their lives is profound.
Well, we first got involved with Hope Global in 2009. Paul and I had been talking about saving up some money to help build an orphanage. We wanted to help other people. And then we went to a missions night at our church at Hope UC, and Michelle Shaw was speaking about a teaching program in Rwanda. And right from that moment, we looked at each other and we knew that that's what God was calling us to do.
Because as a teacher here in Australia, we are so blessed. And to be able to share some of that blessing with others that are less fortunate, you know, we are blessed to be blessed. So for us, it was just calling an opportunity come together at the right time. So it was wonderful.
Each time we go with a plan and a program. We have teaching programs ready to help teach. But then it always seems as though God turns it around and we think we're going there to bless them, but actually we come home more blessed and more changed than ever before. There's been a lot of experiences and really special moments in Rwanda that we have experienced together and as a family of 4. It's changed our perspective on material possessions, on the way we live, about serving other people, about our faith and trust in God.
It's a massive blessing, and to see your children being used by God, we always knew and we always said God has given us these children to just for a little while to nurture and to teach them about Him, and to actually be able to see that coming to fulfilment now when they're launching into their own ministry. That's wonderful. You couldn't put a price on that. That's just blessing beyond belief.
One of the great things about Hope Global is the impact we are having on the next generation. And I'm personally so excited that we've been able to step into the arena of raising up our youth to fight for justice. Paula Fasano, one of our own staff members, has been the driving force of our Youth Ambassador program, which has seen teams of young people travel to impoverished nations to see and experience firsthand how they can make a difference in this world.
So the Youth Ambassador program is all about equipping the youth, giving them the opportunity to do something about the things that they're passionate about. The youth get to travel overseas with us and experience firsthand the raw reality of poverty. They're connecting with other people their age or even younger who have been brought up in completely different circumstances and situations. Unlike any other overseas and volunteering program, the Youth Ambassador program enables the youth to be a part of the solution. They're able to take on their knowledge and their skills and run workshops and holiday kids programs that will empower the kids that they work with. That is such a unique opportunity for youth to be a part of that solution. One of our ambassadors last year, after this amazing journey that she'd been on and going into Rwanda and coming back, she was already saying, you know, like I've just taken so much from this program and this is exactly it. I think I've found my calling and this is what I want to do. The youth also engage in a leadership program, which takes place before and after their trip. These guys are trained in things like public speaking, they're trained in things like events running, on how to engage their peers, how to communicate effectively and share the story well in a way that's going to engage other people. It's incredible that they can be a part of such a full program and such a full experience where they come out of this equipped and with skills that will set up the foundation for the rest of their lives.
Jessica Watkins is the manager of Hope Global, and she is the driving force behind keeping us moving ahead with our vision and plans. She has a real heart for helping people in need, but also a heart for seeing everyday people at home engaged in missions in one way or another. From educating them about missions to inspiring people to get involved, Jess plays an important part of drawing like-minded people together to make a huge difference. One of our biggest fundraising events that does this is the Walk of Hope, a global event which supports our education programs across Africa and Asia.
The Walk of Hope is Hope Global's annual fundraising event that started back in 2008. Since then, it has become an event that we gather people for every year in February. People walk or they run about 10 kilometres, they get involved, they raise money, and it helps our education teams to do the work that they're doing overseas. There's so many children that don't have access to a quality education. There's so many teachers who are dealing with things like 80 to 100 students in a classroom. They don't have the proper training or the resources. They might have special needs children in their classroom and they haven't been trained in how to teach them and how to work with them. And so the education program that Hope Global runs addresses this issue by helping to build quality education in places like Africa and Asia. And the Walk of Hope is a tangible way for people to actually be part of that journey and part of impacting someone else's life. The Walk of Hope 2016 is so exciting for me and for all of us here at Hope Global. If just 200 people turn up on the day and each of them raised $150 each, we would see that impact the entire education program and be able to fund teacher training across all 5 countries for 2016, Rwanda, Kenya, Cambodia, Uganda and India. I really get excited when so many people take part in the Walk of Hope and we do that journey together. Together, we actually make a difference.
As you can see, the vision for our future is big. We believe passionately about bringing justice and hope to the nations of Africa and Asia. And we believe in the strength and power of people joining together to put their hands to a greater purpose. We know our purpose and we want to extend again the invitation to be part of Hope Global. This next chapter has greater opportunity, greater potential for real impact and change. Whether you get involved here in Australia by fundraising, by being a donor, or on the ground in our missions projects, there are now even more ways to be part of the journey ahead. We are embarking on very significant days. We need your prayer, we need your support, and we need people who share our vision and want to partner with us. God will be leading the entire way. This is new ground and this is His work, and we will remain dependent on His provision and guidance as we seek to make a permanent and profound impact on the lives of men, women and children across the world, to see people changed eternally for the better. So how can you get involved today? Talk to us. Let's start the conversation.